Just one invite remains for championship weekend next weekend. The quest for the All-Cup continues with the defending champion Toronto Monarchs on the road against the Paris Riverwolves. The stage is set for the final piece to be fit into the Final Four puzzle, joining Brampton, Oshawa, and Whitby. Back again here at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena on the Six Nations of the Grand River Reservation. Lance Wynn working alongside JVI Productions. As always, starting goalies. It'll be Craig Wendy who gets the call for the Monarchs. Connor O'Toole between the pipes for Paris. Officials for today's game, Seb Bedoin is the crew chief. He's worked with Nico Bedoin and Brad Fennell. And as we get set to go, of course, 3 quarterfinals have been in the books here. The fourth and final quarterfinal, and these two teams met twice during the regular season. Just a total of 3 goals differentiate between them. They split the series 14-13 Toronto the first game, 14-12 Paris the second game. It's all on the line here. Winner will advance, loser done for the season. Right off the bat, Alex Q working out there, so keep an eye out on this offense. Now Curtis Woodland, first shot of the game, finds the 5-hole, and in a blink of an eye, the Riverwolves lead 1-0. Of course, Curtis Woodland comes in, one of the team's leading scorers, 26 goals, 38 assists, 64 points during the first 14 games, and he opens it up and had a chance to speak to the Riverwolves coaching staff. Of course, Jamie Dubrick, the head coach, his assistant Chris Driscoll, and they stressed goaltending on their end being the number one thing here that they'd like, and that just means for their goaltenders to step up in the playoffs here. They wanted their offense to step up, in particular, guys like Curtis Woodland to do their thing, and the guys to continue to play as a cohesive unit. So that is a good start as Q will work it around. Kyle Dawson, the captain out there. Big Andy Campbell now working on that left side. The flip down, working to Dawson. Great defense. Stephen Portelli had him wrapped up and covered. Craig Wendy just missing Monroe as he was on the move. Keep an eye. Logan Monroe, good transition player. Mason Kaminga, tough on D. Patrick Thompson, number 68 for the Monarchs. Always dangerous in the open floor. You look at the Paris side. You've got Marley Angus over on that left side. Of course, the captain, Dawson. Davis Prince on the left. And, of course, downtown Tyler Brown working the top here in this game. First penalty of the game is going to come to the Monarchs. And when I spoke to their coaching staff, of course, head coach Bobby DeBrone, assistants Justin Wilson-Kirby, Nick Krepensek, and Ryan Kelly, and they stressed special teams being the difference. So staying out of the penalty box being a number one thing. They also talked about adjusting to some of the transition players that Paris has, and, of course, matchups. Last time, Luke Robinson had a field day in their last meeting. They're going to keep a closer eye on him. Power play to work here, Riverwolves, 44%. That's ranked 7th in the Arenalacrosseleague, and that'll help the cause. Cole Spear from that right crease side works the 5-hole again on Wendy, and it's 2-0 Riverwolves. So 1-for-1 on the power play, Paris, and wrapping up the regular season, of course, it was the Riverwolves had dropped their last 4 games, but that was injuries, lineup changes, things like that that really had an effect on them. And when you talk about Toronto now having won 3 straight, so they are sort of hitting their peak at the right time here. But, of course, all that goes out the window for this game because it's a winner-take-all. And, again, Paris controls off the draw. So Mitch Gustafson back in the lineup for Paris, dominant in that face-off circle. And one more time as Paris gives it right back. Toronto will have their first look on offense here, trailing by 2. So 5-on-5 here, and to work. Keep an eye, of course, Tanner Buck with the ball right now. Always dangerous from anywhere on that carpet, and going to be a penalty, and this one's going to go to the Riverwolves as working it hard on that side. Owen Ron, he'll keep it. The league's leading scorer, Parker Pfeiffer, out there as well. Keep an eye on him. Buck. Henry follows, dive attempt, and that one is stopped by O'Toole. And those are the big guns for the Monarchs. They will get their first power play opportunity this game. They come in with a power play ranked 8th last in the league at just 40%. The penalty kill for the Riverwolves, though, they are also ranked 8th at 40%. So something's going to give here. Certainly could be more effective as far as the efficiency rating goes, but a good shot, good stop by O'Toole now, Luke Van Scheppen. And anything in between, Luke Van Scheppen, Dari Newbro, break save from Wendy. So Wendy, I think, is going to get the feel now. Quick transition attempt here. Owen Ron has follows with him. Ron shot, stopped by O'Toole. He'll track down that loose ball, work in the corner, bounce off a check and roll it back to the top to Jordan Dance. He is the spark plug. He is the leader on this team. The dancer at the top, working it. Got Pfeiffer on his right. He's got Buck on his left. That shot partially deflected. Van Scheppen, and what I was going to tell you about Van Scheppen, anything in between that neutral zone usually belongs to him. Newbro, transition threat, stripped by Follows. Follows, doesn't have any help. He'll tiptoe out. Van Scheppen will work him, and they'll settle things down with a minute left in the man advantage. Follows, sizing it up. Buck, you can see them starting to gap. That's a collapse box there for the Riverwolves, collecting that rebound. Monarchs, they'll get another 30. Working it to the top. Dance, quick pass. Buck, bounce shot. 2-1 game. Tell you, the Buck stopped right there. Power play goal for Tanner, and a big one, and he closes the gap now to 2-1. And you talked off the top about the importance of special teams. They have been the difference in these playoffs. And when we talk about the playoffs, of course, Friday night quarterfinal number 1, Brampton, winners over Peterborough, 16-12. Yesterday's doubleheader, game 1, was Oshawa over Six Nations, 23-9 there. The Outlaws put together probably their best game of the season. Gustafson in tough. He tried to go far side. Van Scheppen tried to pick that up. That's going to carry him. Newbro's going to battle with Mason Kaminga. Two bodies collide. On the run now. Thompson flips to Ethier. Ethier now, he's going to track it down, and Toronto now is going to slow it up. Of course, the third quarterfinal saw the top-seeded Whitby Steelhawks have to work hard to beat the Ohsweken Bears. 16-14 the final there. They are in the Final Four. One more seat left. Nick Miller trying to help his team, jumping up and going airborne was Riley Ford. Not able to beat O'Toole. Back come the Riverwolves in transition. It's the Q. He'll change his, move around, get a hard screen from Agus. Quick shot, finds the mark. Alex Q. Good decision to take that shot. I don't think Wendy even saw it. So you needed the offensive guys to step up for Paris, and so far they've done just that. Q with a couple. Woodlands added one, and right now Paris certainly off to the start that they'd hoped to get. Gustafson and Ben Heidecker. And once again, Gustafson may have dominated, but it's all about the loose balls, and Portelli will get it to Heidecker. One quick pass, they'll work it up, and it's Campbell Parker. He'll race around, create some space for himself, and it's the dancer. Half boards, left side. Look for an opening, quick bounce, too much on it. Going to try to track down his own rebound. Ron bails him up but loses it. They get tangled up, Hansor and Ron does a good job of shooting it back. Malcolm Ford out there as well. Follow, shot clock dying seconds, and it's going to be possession belongs to Paris as they'll look to move it up. Woodland now will set up the offense here. We're under 10 minutes to go, opening quarter. Final quarterfinal game of this weekend. And the Final Four will be set for championship weekend next weekend at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Campbell looking to duck in. Aaron Walker on him. Dumps it. Tyler Brown still downtown. Getting it done. The Riverwolves offense clicking nicely here. They lead 4-1. I think we're going to get an early timeout or a quick goaltender change, as it looks like Craig Wendy will zip out. Sam Haynes will come in and take over. And if you're not familiar with the sport, that's something that's on the regular. Sometimes goaltenders don't get off to the start they're looking for. Needs time to sort of build, get a little warm, and struggle early. Nothing wrong with the change, and it could be a change back at any point in time. So we'll keep an eye on that. And off the draw, Gustafson again will knock it back, but the Monarchs will race to it. Interference the call as Kuminga laying the lumber down a little too early. And it will belong to the Riverwolves here with just over 9.5 to play. Good crowd on hand here at the ILA Sunday afternoon. Thanks for joining us. We know there are a million other things you could be doing. Campbell shot right on. Testing the netminder early on as Haynes, you can bet, is going to take a few. Davis Prince inside. Big man posting up on the blocks. Big Andy Campbell getting it done with the shovel. Well, whatever the talk was with Jamie Dubrick and the rest of his team, certainly the offense leading up to this game has given them a bit of a jump start here because they have stood tall in this early going. Five to 1, a 4-goal spread for the Riverwolves with just over 9 minutes to play here. Off the draw this time. The Monarchs are going to control again, and it's Heidecker. He's going to try to swim his way out, but that's a deep pool with those guys picked up, though. And it's a Fife dog trying to go backhand as Parker Pfeiffer took a hard hit at the end, and now Hunter Agus will leg it over the timeline. Portelli's going to chase him down, and they'll ring it back to the top and set it up with the captain, Kyle Dawson. Woodland working one-on-one. Dumps it back in. Had a man in Eric Lemaire. Couldn't connect cleanly, and on the run now is Campbell Parker. Good transition defense by the Riverwolves as they are ready, set to play, and now they'll move it as follows. He'll keep it on the left side. Parker going to try to lean in. On the run, quick sidearm stop out to him. Rebound picked up off the post. So great job by Follows for following the leader, but he wrung it off the pad and the pipe. Couldn't put it in the back of the net. Loose in the corner. Ford in there with Van Scheppen, and who else but Luke Van Scheppen's going to come away with that. He'll move it up, and it's to Q. Alex Q will stop, drop, and set up shop. Work it, keep it on the left side with Luke Robinson. He gets a chance to go in. Robinson tried to go 5-0. Haynes closed that up. And a good outlet pass sends away Nick Miller. Miller, he'll pull up. Ford will jump in on that left side, look to create some chaos, and swing it back up to the top. Ron waiting for the rest of the offense to work up. It's 8 on the shot clock. Dump down, wide open, diving. It's Owen Ron. Not just good in transition, good in the offensive end as well. First of the playoffs for Ron. He had 29 points, including 16 of those goals during the regular season. And of the 16, I'd probably have to say at least 8 were in transition. But we know my math is never very good, so luckily we have our crack team of statisticians close by to make sure I stay on the straight and narrow. 5-2 right now, just over 7.5 off the draw. Gustafson, he's a danger, but a great job by Heidecker as he chased him down and caught him with a late stick check. Racing to get over the line is Ethier. Good job to get it done. Miller now will settle it, and a delayed penalty coming to the Riverwolves. Net empty at the Toronto end now, and Follows going to go to work here. He has some room on that left side. The dancer from way out. That one goes over top of the net. Newbro's going to touch it, and the Monarchs are going to get their second power play of this game. And since we got you caught up, we'll take an official's timeout. We'll be back. Back after our official's timeout, Mitch Gustafson, 2 minutes for roughing, so he will have a seat in the sin bin. Second power play opportunity for the Monarchs. They're 1 for 1. So Follows will work the top out there with Dance and Buck. They'll do the interchange on the left. Pfeiffer and Ron on the right. So they'll work that, dump it down, quick stick. Can't finish, far side, wide of the mark. from Follows. They'll do it again, no reset. Quick shot again, trying to work that far corner. Behind the net, Follows diving, tried to go 5-hole. Dancer picks it up in there, scoops it, pulls it out, and resets the clock. So a good job working in that dotted half circle, scooping up those loose balls, and Dance now. He'll try to gap that box and look for an opening. Buck tried to go far side, pad steered that one away by O'Toole. Another reset with just over a minute left in a man advantage. Pfeiffer looking inside. Dancer Follows, has a chance. Tried to go short side, but that got cut off. Dance picks that right back up, and the Monarchs continue to hover around. That one through a crowd. O'Toole. Good job and some good defense there as the Monarchs Follows. Certainly not known as the ruffian, and does a great job there with a good solid cross check. So just 45 seconds left in the man advantage, and Toronto almost forgot what they were out there for, and they regroup now. Buck at the top. Changing the angle, and Follows. Second power play goal in as many opportunities. Monarchs back in this one. They trail 5-3. First of the playoffs for Henry Follows, one of their leaders, of course. 48 points total in the regular season, 23 of those goals. And you can see forever dangerous speed. He got great speed, great hands, and he's the guy who, between him and the Fife dog, they can do that crease dive to perfection. Jordan Dance as well. So a lot of weapons for the defending champions here, but the Riverwolves, be a different story if they can stay out of the penalty box, and that was a concern for Coach Dubrick right off the top. Off the draw, controlling it, Dawson Brown. He will give way to Kyle Dawson, and now the Riverwolves back to full strength. We'll go to work, under 5.5 to go here, opening quarter. Duck in. Angus, and it rolls right across the goal line. So Haynes working some magic. Transition out of the box, and that one's stopped by O'Toole. The Fife dog from point blank, and that doesn't happen too often. Riley Ford, gone airborne. Ford, not the car, but the goal, 5-4. Monarchs reel off back-to-back goals to close the gap to 1. Just never know sometimes. Riley Ford, what he brings you, good offensive player. Sometimes, though, he'll stop, hesitate, and let the offense set up there. A good example of taking what the defense gave him. Got an opportunity to take it strong to the net and did just that. Off the jaw, Gustafson. Good flip to Ellerton. Ellerton's going to pull it to the half boards. Nick Ellerton, and you can bet another one of those guys back in the lineup for Jamie Dubrick and Driscoll, and they're happy about that. Eric Lemaire up front, and they're happy to change him from a transition role. Tyler Brown takes a hit, and, of course, Kuminga, who tends to hit anything and everything that moves on that carpet. Lucky to get away with nothing there. And they'll play on with Tyler Brown. He'll get over to that left side. Right now, give Curtis Woodland some space. Patrick Thompson on him. That's a good matchup. Woodland will win that matchup for the second time as he picks up his second of the game, 6-4. Well, Curtis Woodland had to step up in this game. He had struggled over the last 2 games of the season. Back at her here as he restores that 2-goal lead with just under 4.5 minutes to play here in this opening quarter. Guys are stepping up and doing what they should. Just so you're aware, of course, these two teams, Paris finished 4th, Toronto finished 5th. So this, of course, expected to be the tightest game of the quarterfinals, although Oshweekin Whitby surprisingly was tight. Alex Q, big long legs, big strides. Q goes to the bounce. Haynes closed up the wickets to make the save. So a good transition opportunity for the Riverwolves, but Haynes comes up big when he needs it, and now the Monarchs will counter with Ron. They'll work it half boards. The dancer looking for an opening. Pulls it back out, works it across. Fife Dog to skip to Buck. Buck, that one well wide of the mark. Ron plays it on a short hop. He'll get it out, no reset. And that shot from way out finds the mark. So Owen Ron in the building here today for this quarterfinal, and it's a 6-5 game. Second time he's bulged the twine has Ron, and this game rolling exactly the way we expected it to, back and forth. Just wanted to congratulate, while we have a second here, the scoring leaders. Of course, Tyler Kirkby for the Sea Spray Lacrosse Club out west. 116 points. I don't even know what to say about that. It's like he was playing and no one else was. He was the only guy out there. That's great numbers. And, of course, Parker Pfeiffer winning the East with 91 points, just 3 points over John St. John, who we know is always in the mix when it comes to that. Devin Pfeiffer, another member of the Fife Dog crew, with third place in the scoring in the East. Big save, Darryl Toolman, right there in the mix. Right place, right time. It's Cody Menzies. So Menzies has been quiet this season with just 4 goals, but he sure picked a good time to get his 5th. As far as goals went, Nikolai Ferris for the Whitby Steelhawks. Outstanding with 39. Parker Pfeiffer, 2 behind him with 37. And assists, Tyler Kirkby for the Sea Spray, led everyone, 98 assists. Of course, John St. John was 69, and boy, that in itself, John St. John, of course, with 500 career points as well. So we caught you up on who's done what, where, when, and how, and with just over 3 minutes to go, we got a tie game here, 6-6. Buck, he'll work it left side. Quick skip, right in the stick. Fife Dog tried to go shorty, couldn't do nothing there. Menzies battling in the corner, in there with Q. Newbro takes one down, and that's going to be a high stick call, and Hunter Agus is going to head to the penalty box and give the Monarchs their 3rd power play of the game. They are currently 2 for 2, so not the best way to roll here, but Agus, I don't think he intentionally got the stick up. I think you just saw the player going down a bit. Agus just caught that up. Big fella, so easy for him to get a high sticking call. Power play back to work now. Jordan Dance at the top. He's the quarterback. They'll give everyone a touch. It'll go around the horn. It usually does with these Monarchs. And then the shift. And then the dancer works his way in. I don't think he planned that, because that was well wide of the mark. Follows. Quick pass out. Ron, he'll swing it. Fife Dog sizing it up. They'll work the backhand behind the net. Follows. Had a notion. Couldn't get it. Underhand stopped. Rebound picked up. Dumped in. Looking for Dance. Couldn't do it. Knocked away. Tap. Q now. Picks it up. Q going to go for a run, and he decides he's going to pull it out and set up shop right there. Look to burn some time with 1:15 in the man short. We are at the 2-minute warning here, opening quarter. Q's just going to hold it up, 10 on the shot clock, and he will look to let this tick all the way down before he launches it in the corner. And he'll even try to get that on net, to tell you. Problem with that is it's play it where it lies, so the Monarchs now don't even have to worry about getting it up over the timeline. They'll have it there already, set up with 55 seconds left in the power play. Pfeiffer will work it, Dance at the top one more time. Good ball movement. O'Toole kicks that one aside. They'll get another 30 with 40 seconds left. Big shot there, and Dance almost took out Follows behind the net. Buck. Good stick check laid, and playing to Karam now, and on the move is Brown. Brown's going to try to leg it. He'll put on the brakes. Brown thought about it, hesitated, turning the corner. Pfeiffer draped all over him. Defense now for the Monarchs comes out, so give Pfeiffer some credit. held the fort down just long enough for the D to get there, and now it's Dawson in the dying seconds. We're into the final minute here, quarter number one. Thompson chopping him down. Dawson bounces off a hit from Dance, still fighting for it. Great effort by the captain there as he continues to battle like he always does. 45 seconds left, Monarchs with possession. Thompson will work it up. So if the Riverwolves play it right, they should get the final possession here of this quarter. Ron gets a step. Big screen from Thompson. Thompson has room. Goes to the sidearm. Stopped by O'Toole. O'Toole now a chance to move it up. 20 seconds left. Can't find Ellerton. They can't connect, so Ellerton's going to have to run it down. He does. 15 on the game clock. Ellerton, wrong stick side. Dumps it over. Van Scheppen! What doesn't he do? Pockets that for the Riverwolves, 7-6. So it looked like a broken down play there. Worked out okay. Ellerton made the right decision. He was clearly on his wrong stick side. Didn't have a whole lot to shoot at, but able to get it over to Van Scheppen. Van Scheppen faked up top, went down low to beat Haynes and give his team a one-goal lead with 12.1 seconds left here in the first quarter. Off the draw, Heidecker doing a fantastic job against one of the league's best. McConvey, he went for a run, but Gay stripped him. Picked up, Portelli's going to launch that in the gondola as the buzzer goes. 15 minutes gone in this quarterfinal. 7-6, Riverwolves. Set to go now for second quarter after a very entertaining opening 15, and these two teams going at it tit for tat, blow for blow. Off the draw, it's going to be Q. Tiptoes around, sends that up, and here come the Riverwolves moving it over the timeline. They'll work it. Luke Robinson. Robinson had a notion. He'll pop back out. They're going to need something from him if they're going to come away with a win over the defending champs for sure. Woodland isolated. One-on-one on the run, sidearm wide. Lemaire will track that down. No reset. And I guess there was a reset. Cole Spear trying to duck in. Got to go overhand off. And good job there to keep that in the crease by Haynes and company. And they'll move it up. One pass, and Thompson now on the move. Numbers for the Monarchs. Zipped across. It's the Dancer. He'll work it. Buck on that left side. Kick out to the Fife Dog. He too. Great hands by Buck to scoop that one off the carpet. Dance gets a step. Going to try to spin out. The Dancer diving. Stopped though by O'Toole. Dance, I don't know how he slithered his way through all that, but he certainly did. Woodland now will slow it down for the Riverwolves. Woodland, clear size differential underhand, right on. Aaron Funky Walker, Dirty Talker will move it up. One pass, working to the Fife. Fife has a man trailing now. Full stride. Portelli, stopped by O'Toole. Loose as follows, takes a dip. He went through the crease and not quite sure. That looks like Malcolm Ford over there, and I'm not quite sure you really want any of him. And that is the case. So Ford up. I'm not sure who he got tangled up with. Looks like Owen Ron. So that is the case. So it looks like just deciding who's going. I mean, Malcolm Ford's already headed to the penalty box. I'm sure he knows he's getting two. It looked like they were both, and that is the case. So Ron and Ford, coincidental roughing minors, and we'll play some 4-on-4 lacrosse here with just under 13 and a half to go in this second quarter. So we'll get a look at 4-on-4 for the Riverwolves. Tyler Brown will inbounds. He's got Lemaire and Spear on that right side. Kyle Dawson on the left with lots of room to work with. Captain takes that one right on. Good pad saved by Haynes. On the run now, Ethier. Ethier going to try to keep it away from the captain. He does. puts on the brakes, finds Walker. Walker with a chance. Walker has a stick check late. Rebound Lemaire, and Lemaire is going to keep it moving the other way. Lemaire finds Q. Q with one man that beats Martino. He puts on the brakes, and he'll flip. Ellerton now will stop, and he'll give way. He does. Luke Robinson. Robinson, quiet so far in this opening half. One of the scoring leaders for the Riverwolves gets it back. Robinson on cue, rings it off the iron. Ball loose. Davis Prince not able to get it. It's corralled, and here come the Monarchs. Minute 10 left in the Quincidentals as Miller will pull up, get it over. Menzies will swing it around. They work it to Buck. Ford with some room. Tried to change the angle, but a good pad save made by O'Toole. Newbro on the move. His pass gets airmailed, and it'll be Thompson that settles under it. Quick pass up ahead. Looking for Kuminga. Kuminga out there on offense. Don't see that too often. We'll see what he's got. Pass inside. Couldn't connect with Riley Ford, and it's picked up. And now here come the Riverwolves the other way. Brown and Angus. Marley Angus finds a trailer. Cole Spear, and he rocked the house but picked the iron. Good job to corral that loose ball by Brown. And now Angus will settle it down. 15 seconds left in the penalties. Andy Campbell. And a beauty touch on cue. Luke Robinson. You can't even call that a quick release because it never really went in the stick. And he steps up for the Riverwolves. Robinson's first of the game, of course, he came in with 32 goals, 32 assists. That's an outstanding season. And with just 11 seconds left in the penalties, it's an 8-6 lead for Paris. Off the draw, it'll be controlled by the Riverwolves. Both combatants out of the penalty box. Teams back to 5-on-5. Q, he's going to duck in, runs into one. Q had it, but then lost it. Picked up Lemaire. Lemaire with a beauty duck in, but wide with the crease dive. Woodland gets it, no reset. Woodland goes for the dunk, and it rolls off the leg and in. Curtis Woodland used every inch and the long arm of the law. We're going to review this here as the officials are going to get together. The question is, was someone in the crease somewhere, or was it back in the crease? And so no goal. It's a crease call and a good call. And the Monarchs now take advantage. And Q, too tough. And that was an awfully quick inbounds. You can see the Riverwolves not too happy with that. In particular, when we talk about rules about when the ball goes out of play, you got to touch by an official, but that wasn't out of play, but it was a stoppage. Point blank. O'Toole right there. Riverwolves now on the move with Hanser. Back door looking for Robinson. Battle there with Power. Instead, Haynes. He'll smother it in the crease and look for an outlet. He finds Thompson on the hop. Thompson has Agus on him. Thompson's going to curl back out. 10.5 to go, and delayed penalty coming. Looks like there'll be too many on the floor for the Riverwolves. Haynes going to make that long run. Now with 10 on the shot clock. Buck, quick pass. Thompson thought about it. Dancer, he'll get his own rebound. He'll go for it again. Airborne, and shot clock violation. Power play now for the Toronto Monarchs. Fourth power play opportunity of the game, and it's always good to get a payoff when you're working the booth. Unfortunately, when you have to pass that cash on. But either way, we'll set, and you know, you invite guys up to the booth and you just never know what you're going to get. But so power play time for the Monarchs. They are 2 for 3 with a man advantage, and they're back to work here, trailing by a couple. Buck, underhand, and wickets closed by O'Toole, makes that save. And if there was any question about the Paris goaltending coming into this, they've answered that so far in this opening half. Spear, he's going to keep it on the half boards. He's going to keep it there for a while. Has Dawson cutting, tried to slide that one through the hole, 5-hole. Nothing doing Haynes, and now it's the Fife Dog. Hats off to Pfeiffer. It was great to see the Fife Dog crew in the house in Oshawa yesterday, and back here again today as he took the red eye in Calgary last night. NLL roster, and unfortunately didn't get a chance to suit up, but back here playing for his team, and boy, he's an important piece. That tic-tac-toe almost done. Up, down. What a save by Ellerton. Ellerton backing up his netminder. Stopped Pfeiffer point blank. Buck, inside backhand, stopped by O'Toole. Almost scooped up. Ron posting up right in the middle there of that dotted half circle. He's going to stay right there. Pfeiffer inches in. Quick stick in. That's the way it's done. Tanner Buck. Power play marker 8-7. So a big power play goal cuts the deficit now to 8-7, and boy, you look at the importance of special teams, and man, oh man, difference so far in this game. 4 power play goals. 8:46 to play. Off the jaw, Gustafson and Kuminga. That battle's when Gustafson gets taken in. That's for sure a penalty. I'm not sure who's going to get it either. It's going to be Campbell or Kuminga. I imagine it's going to be Kuminga. But either way, net empty for the extra attacker. Robinson's going to control here. Working with Campbell. Campbell, the flip, dive, and that one stays out. So it's going to be it looks like a boarding call is going to go to Kuminga. Well, there's a fine line between playing on the edge and potentially hurting your team. Luckily to come away with just 2 minutes there as the message is sent. Listen, so you guys out there watching at home, and I speak specifically to the players, you've played 14 regular season games. You don't have to send any more messages. Everyone's got them already. They're old now. Go out and play some lacrosse and play it at the best you can. Dawson trying to quick stick finish. Stop spending so much time in the penalty box. You're hurting your squad. Woodland, wrong stick side, and Dawson leaning forward now, so Martino going to bail his team out. He'll bring it in. Dumps it off. Thompson sidearm stopped though by O'Toole. Back the other way. Angus scoops it up. It's a 3-on-2 now. Q got handcuffed by that pass, but Robinson will bail him out with 1:15 to go in the power play. 7.5 to go here in the second quarter. Woodland working with Marley Angus. Inside, quick shot, and Dawson hit the turf. But in the meantime, between time, that will give us a chance to take our officials' timeout. Set to go here with 1:04 left in the Kuminga penalty. This would be a big kill here for the Riverwolves for the Monarchs if they're able to come out unscathed here. But again, Pfeiffer's going to leg it up. Newbro's on him. Newbro almost got a good stick check. Fife Dog kept that nice and clean and in the pocket. Look at the stick. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of pocket there. As Follows now battling, uses speed to get the edge on Q, puts on the brake, starts again. Van Scheppen will wrap him up, and no one wraps it up like Van Scheppen does, and Riverwolves counter the other way. Ellerton, he's going to work it over. Robinson's going to wait for the rest of the offense. Now they're going to work the final 30 seconds of this power play. Woodland had a notion. They swing it around. Dawson kick it back out. Good skip. Spear lets that go. It goes up and off of Haynes and out. So with 16 seconds left, possession belongs to Paris. Angus. Woodland teased that one up, but Haynes saw that all the way. And he'll look for a bounce pass and almost a suicide, but a good job by Heidecker to hold strong. Thompson now, backdoor. Great chance there, but O'Toole stopped the dancer point blank. Ron able to regroup. Penalty over now. Teams back to 5 aside. We are at the 6-minute mark. Second quarter. Ford works it to Buck. Buck. Ron on the right side. Good stick check early. Hunter Agus. Agus going to battle for it with Thompson. He knocks it up. Agus going to go for a run. Walker's going to try to intercept. They meet right around where the ball is. It gets knocked back, and it's picked up as a shot clock just about to go off, and Paris now will control, and it'll be Eric Lemaire. Lemaire and Gustafson. So Mitch will retreat. Lemaire will stay on that right side, and the Prince will filter out. Lemaire swimming his way closer, pops back out, looking for big man Andy Campbell. Andy looking to duck in. He'll try to roll off something, use his size advantage. The big man dumps it down behind the net. Looking for an opening. Tyler Brown downtown again. Take me home, Tyler Brown with his second of the game. And it's 9-7. So a big answer from the offensive weapons for the Riverwolves here in this opening half. I don't know, Tyler Brown has fit well with his new team. Came over at the trade deadline from the Six Nations Snipers. Come third quarter, we'll have head coach of the Snipers, Darcy Powless, join us, and he can maybe tell us why he decided to trade away an offensive threat like Tyler Brown. But you'll get all those details. Driving to the net, Cole Spear, stopped though by Haynes. Good hesitation there, pop up Monroe. Not able to get it cleanly. Q's going to try to intercept and does. He runs into Ford. Q bounces off that. He's in the offensive end now, and he'll set it up with Ellerton. They'll work it around. Woodland, he'll survey the situation. Inside. Good job by Kuminga to knock that one down. Woodland with the regroup. Gets it to Tyler Brown. Works it back to Woodland. Woodland. Dump in. Trying to find Ellerton. They couldn't connect. Davis Prince going to try to run it down. Dying seconds of the shot clock. Ellerton couldn't get that off. So he'll flip it in the corner and into the gondola. And possession will belong to the Monarchs now with 4:10 to play here in this half. Miller. He'll work it to Pfeiffer, and he'll work it to Ron. Ron. Buck has room. Tanner Buck has room, and that's all he needs is a sliver of daylight to find the mark. So Tanner Buck with his second of the game closes the gap now to 1. Of course, Buck was big threat. Only played, though, 8 games this season, 14 in a regular season here in the Arenalacrosseleague, but 37 points, 13 of those goals. And he has been a mainstay for this Monarchs team. Not only their championship win last year, but of course what they've done this year. Been a bit of a roller coaster ride. They were off to a slow start, found the mark. Another slow start as Gustafson gets taken down by a double team, but Paris hangs on to it. Van Scheppen. He'll work it over. Newbro looking for Q, picked up, and it's Spear. He'll work it to Newbro, who will dump it back out. Lemaire's going to have to track it down and does, as he'll look for an opening now. Shot clock at 8. Deep in the count. Spear, that shot right on, stuck though to Haynes. And now it'll be Thompson with the inbounds. He'll move it up under 3.5 to go. Ford. He's going to be aggressive, and Ford tiptoes along the crease and puts it in the top corner. Riley Ford adds to his total, and we're tied at 9. Ford, second of the game. He finished the season with 16 goals, 11 helpers. So each of these two teams getting what they should out of their top guys. They're getting the goaltending that they had hoped for. And to no one's surprise, we're tied here with 3:15 to go in the opening half. Both players, Kuminga and Gustafson, jump in just a little early on the twitch. And Kuminga fighting hard. Loose, and it's Portelli that comes away with it. Portelli thinks better of it. He'll curl out. Possession belongs to the Monarchs now as we are just under the 3-minute mark. Portelli has a double team. Newbro on him and Ellerton. They forced that ball loose. But returning the favor, Cody Menzies. He gets jumped by Gustafson. Ball loose, still under Menzies, and finally Ellerton comes away with it. Ellerton does a good job to get around, follows. He'll dump it off. It's the Prince. Had a notion. Good stiff arm. Davis Prince looking for Woodland. Woodland almost with a sweet pickup. Couldn't do it though. Instead, it's Ether that does. He's off to the races. Ether, numbers 3-on-2, but great transition defense as Brown hustled back to get in the mix and change the complexion. Forward with a tough sidearm bounce. Stopped, though, by O'Toole. O'Toole now looking for some help. He's going to have to air it out, and he does. And still, good job to get it over the timeline. Good passing, Campbell. Woodland. Dump off, Campbell. Roll, spin, backhand try, goes wide. Went off the defender, and Campbell's going to hustle off. But in the meantime, in transition, it's Miller. Miller working to the dancer. Jordan Dance has room. Bounces off another. He'll think better of it, kick it back out. And they'll be a little more deliberate here with 10 on the shot clock. Ron. Pfeiffer. Puts on the brakes. Dumps it back in. Run, point blank. Can't find the short side. McConvey picks him up, and he'll look to move it up, and he does to downtown Brown. Tyler Brown. Looking for the far side, back door, and he'll find it into Captain Dawson. Inching toward the final minute here of this first half. Dawson finds Lemaire. Lemaire looks to duck in. Kuminga closes that off. Down low, and Q had a whole lot of bounce on it, but Haynes read that perfectly, and back the other way come the Monarchs. Ethier. Send it over. Dance. Spinning around. Dance. Had a man in the middle in Thompson. Thompson pops back out. Dance pops back out as well. Send it over to the Fife Dog. Sidearm blocked. 30 seconds left. Van Scheppen on his horse. Luke Van Scheppen between two has it pop out. Ellerton backs him up. And timeout call by the Riverwolves with 24.7 seconds left here in the first half. 24 seconds, so Paris is going to hold for the final shot here. That would be the plan, and make sure that the Monarchs don't get an opportunity to pick up the go-ahead goal here. So Angus out there with Woodland, net empty for the extra attacker. Robinson, Dawson. You've got Lemaire out there as well as Spear. So all the members of the Good Hands team out there now. 8 on the game clock. Got to go. Working it on the left side. Angus dumps it over. Robinson sidearm doesn't get through. And that, with .5, will do it for an outstanding half of lacrosse here at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. 9-9 at the end of 2. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the third. Welcome back as we get set for the third quarter here at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena on the Six Nations of the Grand River Reservation. Final quarterfinal matchup of the weekend here in the Arenalacrosseleague. Already 3 teams have booked their ticket to next week's Final Four. The Brampton Express, the Oshawa Outlaws, and of course the Whitby Steelhawks will be there. The question is, with 30 minutes to play, who is that final piece? Either the Toronto Monarchs will get a chance to defend their title, or it will be the Paris Riverwolves. And off the draw, it'll belong to the Monarchs, and that gives me a chance, of course, to take a minute and welcome the head coach of the Six Nations Snipers and Darcy Palace to the booth. As Darcy, welcome. Great season for you. Always some challenges, along the way in that 14-game schedule. I know the quarterfinal game against Oshawa certainly didn't go as planned, but maybe just give me a bit of an outlook of what you see as far as these 2 teams. First, as you see Newborough with a chance there, but Haynes comes up with it. When you look at these 2 teams coming in now, 1 half to play, all evened up, what do you think the difference is going to be?
It's going to be the goalies. It's going to come down to, they're pretty evenly matched offensively, defensively. Face-offs, they got Gustafsson and Kaminga going at it, so they're pretty equal all the way around, and it's going to come down to what defense and what goalie can make that save when they need it.
Well, I've asked a couple of coaches this, and some of them, it's weird. I've gotten a couple of different answers about the importance of a draw man. Now, you've got Sugahara, obviously one of the best in the league. Gustafsson, definitely one of the best in the league. How important is it for that possession off the draw for your squad?
The more touches you get on offense, right, the more opportunities you're going to have. So every extra chance that you can have, it's great, and especially to start out a game like that with the early possession, to get the ball in your offense's hands, to let them get on a roll, and that makes a huge difference.
So we talk about this matchup here. Let's, as you can see there, straight arm takedown, and if you happen to participate in some MMA, that would probably be a good takedown. But other than that, here at the All, that's a penalty, and you can see Mitch Gustafsson with a chuckle. I think he's headed to the penalty box as he had the arm lock down, and it'll be a power play for the Monarchs as they wrapped up that first half 3 for 4 with the man advantage. They now go to work for the 5th time. And it's same usual suspects. So Follows and Buck on the left side. Dance at the top. Skip pass looking for Buck. Then you've got Ron and Pfeiffer on that right. And on the left is Follows and Buck. That pass can't connect. Van Scheppen, though, he'll scoop it up. And a good pass ahead. He's got Q in the basket. 2-on-1 with Angus. Angus up, down. Big save by Hayes. That was McConvey. And now back the other way is Monroe. So, Darcy, we talk about the draw man. Now, we've seen it, and you guys are notorious, and I say you guys meaning the Snipers. You guys know what it's like to have to kill penalties. How important is that when you get to the postseason as far as staying disciplined goes?
Yeah, like we showed it yesterday, we weren't very disciplined like we had been in the previous 3-4 weeks there, and they got under our skin a little bit, and we just folded under the pressure, unfortunately. But you get into playoffs, it magnifies it even more, right? And especially with this game here, the team's so close, so it is going to come down to special teams also. Whoever can score on their extra chances or even get a shorthanded goal.
And for those that don't know, and if you are just looking at that score, she danced through a crowd off the waist of Ellerton to hide it, but a good job by O'Toole to make the save with just 20 seconds left in the man short. And I think when you look at the score, 23-9, you sort of think, well, it was a dominant. Well, it was an impressive offensive performance for the Outlaws for sure, but I think the Snipers didn't help their own cause, and that was really more so. So it was from our vantage point up here, it really intruded, and that was a crease there. It was just tough to see it start off well, and then, a couple of penalties sort of changed the complexion of the way things rolled.
Yeah, we just, like I said, we started out, we were up 4-1, and then a couple bad penalties from the offensive end there, and we've told the guys all year long, even tell the kids that, you can't take penalties on offense at all. Your job is to take the beating and put the ball in the net, so you can't let them whacks and hacks get to you.
Well, and that's something we emphasize. Spear comes in trailing late. That's right off the breadbasket of Haynes. His quick outlet pass will send away Portelli. Well, we've been preaching that the entire season about the importance of staying out of the penalty box. And you know as well as I do, Darsh, you've coached for many, many years, and you know that just sometimes they just don't do what you tell them to do. You know? So, you know, there's no knock on you and the coaching staff. You and Vince, of course, and Nick, always a pleasure dealing with you. As Angus, wrong stick side, tried to stick the sidearm short. Martino took him out late, but Angus trying to fish it, and he gets some help, and Brown will come away with it. Sorry, McConvey. And McConvey gets pushed into the boards, and that was questionable by Ethier. No call on the play. As you can see, the bench not too impressed. On a full head of steam is the dancer. Zip that one across. Thompson's going to regroup off the carom, and he'll pull it back out for the reset. Under 10 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Dance, spins off, lets it go. Saved by O'Toole. And that's going to be goaltender interference, and it's going to be hard to argue that one right there, as you can see it's just a matter of who, as it looks like O'Toole lost his helmet in the collision, and he does only look shaken and not stirred, so that's good. We'll just see here what the call is. So it looks like a hold. So it looks like the Monarchs, and it's Tanner Buck. And I think they're saying that going into that crease, Buck held on, and I saw contact with Buck and the goaltender, and not an easy interference call, but they called holding. Either way, 2 minutes will give the Riverwolves now their third power play opportunity, 1 for 2, and a chance here to get the go-ahead with 9.5 to go here in this third quarter. Robinson down low. Spear's going to go to work. Good pad save, kicked out, and now the Monarchs will get a chance to leg it out. Spear and Kuminga mixing it up. Robinson takes down Ron, and Ron now does a good job to get up, regroup, and with 15 on the shot clock, Q's going to harass him. On the run is Ron. And we're going to have another penalty. It's going to be a late hit, and I think that's going to go on Ron. So Owen Ron had been good about being focused on his offensive game, and he gets saddled with an illegal cross-check, and now the Riverwolves sitting good with a two-man advantage for 1:20 here, and a chance to at least pocket one, maybe two.
Yeah, I think he was upset they missed the leg sweep there when he crossed over center. It could have been a penalty there on Paris.
Well, you see is Dawson diving, and that's one of those things, Darcy. Sometimes it's and you got three officials out there, but a whole lot happens sometimes behind the play. And we know, and certainly from my vantage point, I'm watching the ball all the time. So a lot of times some stuff gets missed here or there, and I think that's to be expected. 3-on-2. Robinson, that shot partially deflected. Rebound. Spear, shots steered aside by Haynes. Great goaltending by the Monarchs netminder. Woodland will swing it across. Robinson fakes the backhand, goes to it. Spear steps in, rings it off the iron. Tried to go short side, not far side this time, with just under 30 seconds left in the first penalty. Spear again. Haynes has him locked down on that side. Might want to try to go right back over Thompson to Kuminga. Going to be a real big, and that's an 8-second count there. And Kuminga's going to keep running it, and Kuminga's going to go, and that's going to result in a penalty shot. So I think the issue here, Darcy, is sometimes when you're a repeat offender in a game, you will get less leeway from the officials. Do you find that?
Yeah, they know who to watch for. They know who to look for, and a lot of times, like especially if guys know that you're going to hit them back, they will give you that little extra stick, that little extra whack, and wait for you to retaliate, and that's what the ref's going to see, right? And that happens a lot.
And that's certainly the case here, as an interesting development. So it looks like it's going to be Luke Robinson that's going to get the call here with a chance to break this tie here, and it is. So Luke Robinson up against Sam Haynes. Robinson, a 5-hole bounce, and that works, and a big goal there for him on a penalty shot. That's his second of the game, and you can see the defending champs are not happy with that. Still 15 seconds left in the first penalty, 52 seconds remaining in the second, and this could be a turning point in this game if the Monarchs aren't able to kill this one off. And Darcy, is there a different mindset when you go into a game knowing full well that it could be one and done?
Yeah, you got to take everything. You got to play intense right from the beginning, but you still got to be able to control your emotions. Like right now, Toronto's a little rattled, but it's only a one-goal game, so if they can calm down and keep their composure, and they'll be right back into it, no problem.
And the league's leading scorer, Pfeiffer, wasn't able to pocket that one, although he made a nifty move to get close. And now Angus will work it to Woodland. They'll work the two-man game. That shot down low, almost a quick stick finish from Robinson. Couldn't pocket the pass. Ethier now. 10 seconds left to kill here, and it would be a big kill if Toronto could just have given up that penalty shot goal. Ethier is going to go for a bit of a run. Penalty over now. Team's back to full strength. Ford with 8 on the shot clock. Ford tried to sneak it in. Good save there by O'Toole. Sitting there, and Hunter Angus now will try to move it up, and he does. And with 6:40 to play here in this third quarter, I think if you're Toronto, you may be able to just take a quick breath here, having killed that two-man short, as Big Andy Campbell working on power. Screen Campbell on the run, and he has been dangerous of late. Cracked the can, Andy Campbell on the board for his first.
He's a big man with a big body. He knows how to use it. Even a couple of our guys say he's a heavy guy to stop once he gets rolling.
Well, that's his second of the game, and don't mean to use basketball terminology, but he has done a good job on the blocks, using his bulk to back guys in, and he's got enough. His hands are good enough that he can get a good shot off. He's a strong guy and awfully hard to move.
Yeah, he gets his body in position there. He can get his hands free and get that shot off. He's got a good little, almost like a wrist shot he lets go. It's a nice little underhand snap he can pick it with.
So back-to-back goals have given the Riverwolves an 11-9 lead here as we head toward the 6-minute mark in this third quarter. Lance Wynn alongside Snipers head coach Darcy Palace. Always appreciate you having us. Quarterfinal action here. This the final piece. That from way out. Stopped by O'Toole. Ball loose. And Miller's going to grab it, and the Monarchs will reset the offense. So that's always one of the sad things from a league perspective, is when you have to say goodbye to some of the teams that lose and are eliminated. And yourselves, of course. Oshwiki backhand. That was a beauty. Give me a bark, the Fife Dog. 11-10, as he sure picked a fine time to step front and center. Big goal there as Parker Pfeiffer, just his first, and of course won the scoring title. 37 goals, 54 helpers, 91 total points. John St. John finished with 88, so that tells you how tight things were. And with 5:35 to go, we're back to a one-goal game. And like you said, Darcy, this may be one of those games determined by who gets the last power play or man advantage situation.
Yeah, it's going to be close all the way through. Toronto did good settling down once they killed off the penalties, and they were able to get that one, stop their momentum, and give it a little life back to their team. It was a nice backhand goal, too. Caught O'Toole moving and put her back far side.
You know, when that goalie's going left and you go back from whence he came, that's awfully tough to stop. Dawson now to work on the left side. Looking for an opening, can't find one. Ethier on him, gets a screen from Woodland. On the flip, can't connect. 5 on the shot clock. Lemaire going to battle for it in that corner. Parker in there as well. Violation will give it, and with 4:54 to go, we will take our officials' timeout, and we'll stick around, and we'll pick Darcy Paulus's brain just a little bit more as we go on. So when you look at the three teams, Darcy, that are in right now, you talk about three of the top four, so with Whitby, Oshawa, and Brampton in there. And where do you see in just those three, because we, of course, don't have the fourth yet, but what do you see in that mix? Who do you think is the favorite going in? You played each team.
Yeah,
so.
Whitby's been dominant all year, right? Like you were talking about yesterday, Brampton's coming in at the right time. They're getting hot. They're playing with a full bench. They got their full roster, and that makes a big difference also, right? Like they got Wittig. He scored. What did he have? 7 points the other night. So
yeah, he was dangerous.
Like you get those guys back into the lineup there, it makes a huge difference. So teams got to adjust, and teams got to look who's coming in, who's coming out. Like you said, like Pfeiffer was in Calgary last night, and he's here today. So like just to have that player dedication is huge. Also that he's willing to come back to play.
Well, you know what that's like, and I know that it's been sometimes a challenge, and it is when you get these young men. As Ford gets a step, the shovel, and a beauty quick stick finish. That was perfectly executed, and it started with Riley Ford. Great job there on offense, and surprise, surprise, we're tied again at 11. So Owen Ron, the recipient with the finish. And Owen Ron with his third of the game. Different player when he focuses on offense and doesn't get caught up in all that other stuff and plays the game. And you know, Darcy, I mean, amongst the challenges that all you coaches have in the Arena Lacrosse League, I mean, it's got to, as that one. And
no.
Unfortunately, I think Gustafson was going down, and that's where the head contact came in. And Gustafson's going to make the slow walk off. They're going to blow this one down, and looks like Campbell Parker, he's going to head to the box. And again, there's sometimes, Darcy, there are penalties that they may be accidental, but they're still penalties.
Yeah, that was shoulder to shoulder. I know he was kind of leaning over trying to pick up the ball, but I don't like those calls. It's like if you're playing the ball, if you're going to intentionally clean him out, it's one thing. But if you're coming into battle for the ball like that, then it's, I'd say, a possession at the most, my opinion. But
well, that's a tough call. And again, depending on the angle, a guy may look defenseless, but not really from another angle. He doesn't. From our angle, it looked like two guys going for the ball. He was falling, and that's when the contact happened. Either way, back to work with the man advantage of the Riverwolves, and Woodland gets his own rebound. Dawson, he's going to step out, saved by Haynes. Rebound, Woodland, fresh 30 to work with now as we inch toward the 4-minute mark here in the third. Minute 35 left in the power play. Robinson will work the right side with Spear. Two-man game. Robinson, gap it, beauty pass, beauty finish. I tell you, that was a nifty feed from Robinson, and the captain, Dawson, made him pay 12-11 for the Riverwolves.
that was nice hesitation, holding on that split second. Letting hands have been good a couple times side to side, so catch him moving, wait for him to get there, and then just find an open spot once he gets over to the post.
Well, tell me, let me ask you something. We've talked about your team. We've talked about some of the other teams. When it comes to the league standpoint, you have been pretty much, I think you came in 2 years in. That seems like way back ago. You've been a mainstay in this league. What kind of things have you seen from the league overall in your tenure here?
The skill has gone through the roof of what we started out with. Like, the guys are really taking advantage of being here to play to get to the next level. Like, there's been so many guys that have come through now, even if they play 1 year or half a year. Like, there's been so many guys that have come through the league now to be here, and especially with the goalies. Like, there's so many. The NLL are telling their third string goalies or even their young draft pick goalies to come here and play just to get the experience.
How about the Bucks stopping right here, right now, tied at 12. Tanner Buck stepping up and bringing it with the underhand, his third goal of the game. And with 3:18 to play, Darcy, I know you're shocked, but we're tied one more time. And
Yeah.
but I mean, and I certainly appreciate your insight on that, because as one of the coaches, you're always evaluating not only the team, but how to make the team better, how you can improve, who's available, what's the situation, and have you found overall, though, that the caliber of play is certainly headed in the right direction?
Oh, for sure. Yes, it's coming up. Like, there's so many young guys coming up, right, that want to make the next level that don't have the grades to go to school. So, like, we're another option for them. Some guys go the school route, NCAA, NAIA. They take that route for a few years to try and get to the pros that way. But if that's not there, this is another option for them to be here. So, like, when we started up, we had half the Rebels team almost, like from 18 and 19 playing with us. And then now, like, a couple of guys have made up to the NIL. We got a few guys that have gotten opportunities. So it's just a matter, like, even if they want to start a little bit younger, get the 18 and 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds that want to come and run with the big guys, then it definitely helps them out when they go back to their junior teams in the summer.
Well, I think you've been one of the coaches that has been able to dance, taking it strong, stop by O'Toole. You've been one of those guys. That's going to be a late hit, and it's going to be a Paris penalty this time, as Dance slow to get up. And it looks like Hunter Agus is going to be the guilty party based on body language alone, as he'll make that slow trot there, and the Monarchs will go back to work with another power play opportunity. And it's a legal cross-check, and that is the case. And so, Darcy, you've certainly had to kind of work the younger guys in with the veteran players sort of thing, and that's and you've coached at all different levels. If there are young guys out there and they're looking, and I say young being, of course, of age to play in the Arenalacrosseleague, do you say to them, this is the place you should come to, or how do you want them or think that's best for them to hone their skills? As Henry follows, gives the Monarchs the go-ahead, 13-12 with another power play marker.
Just more time you got your stick in your hand, right, the better.
Mm-hmm. This, of course, being the first lead of the game for the defending champs, and we'll see now. Sometimes, Darcy, you play a game, you're trailing the whole game, but once you get that lead, you don't want to give it up. And we'll see here if that's the case. But we've also been strapped in tight in this roller coaster ride of a game here. So, well, I want to say to you that from the league standpoint, that the knowledge, the experience, and the professionalism that not just you and Vince bring, but all the coaches in the league bring to the Arenalacrosseleague is something that the league values highly. The commitment that you guys have shown based on the pay or lack thereof that you get, it's about your commitment and love of the sport, and we just want to thank you for being here and for what you do and the impact that you have on the game at the fundamental level is something that, you can't measure. And that's something that we'll have to talk a few years down the line to get real full appreciation of the guys when, if you've really realized that a quarter of the NLL is made up of guys that have come through you in some way, shape, or form. Riley Ford right on. Stopped by O'Toole. Monarchs putting the pressure on now as they ramp it up. We're heading to the final minute here, third quarter. Back to the top now as Follows will settle things down. 50 seconds on the game clock. That shot. Oh, rebound, Ford. Tried to sneak it in the short side, but instead O'Toole locked that down, and now it's Angus. Angus trailing. Spear. He'll pull it back out. Wait for Robinson. Robinson lets it go. Good pad save there. Pops right up. Robinson with a gift. And the twister in midair. Luke Robinson. We're tied again. Did you have that move in your repertoire when you played Darcy Palace?
No, I shot one-timers and set picks.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, I appreciate your honesty always, all right? Not everyone can be a goal scorer like League President Paul St. John, who could put the ball in the net for sure. But
Even as
well, he's not as good as his son either, so I mean, it's okay. He's allowed to tiptoe around that, as off the draw will be a violation. So 29.6 seconds left. O'Toole's gone to the bench, and Paris now will set up with the extra attacker. Tied at 13 here, third quarter. Time winding down. Spear, he's going to keep it there. They're going to play for the last shot. Woodland, the Prince, is going to filter out late to that right shooter spot and look for an opening. Overload on the left. Campbell up high. Tyler Brown looking inside. Campbell's backhand right on. 2 seconds left. A chance to go in the empty net. And the buzzer goes just in the nick of time. 3 quarters in the books. We're tied. Fasten your seatbelt. Final 15 left. Give me a chance to thank head coach Darcy Palace. Thanks for joining me. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate you, and we'll see you soon.
Oh, for sure. We'll see you around. Thank you.
All right, take a break. We'll be back with the fourth. The house now is we're set for the final 15 here at the ILA. 1 invite left to the Final Four. One of these two teams is going to get it. Mitch Gustafson off the draw. He's going to roll in, bump off a defender, shoot that one wide, and Kaminga's going to pick that up and send away Thompson. So usually I say that it's crunch time with 5 minutes, but it's crunch time right now, do or die. Bucks, quick shot, stop. Rebound, Ron. Ron's going to pull it right back out. They'll reset the offense. Another chance for the defending champs. Ron will work the right side out there with Thompson. He'll set the screen. Nothing doing there. Curl back out. Look for someone. Swing it around. Work it to Buck. Now it's Follows. Follows with a quick step. Follows and just avoided the crease. Ron, no reset. 5 on the shot clock. Going to have to let it go. Thompson wide of the mark. And a good defensive stand by the Riverwolves as they will regain possession now and try to move it up over the timeline. It's Brown. Once again, just want to thank head coach of the Six Nations Snipers, Darcy Palace, for joining us, giving us his insight as we work towards the Final Four. I hope to have a few more of the Arena Lacrosse League coaches up in the booth just to give their take on things. Robinson working off another. Robinson almost turned the corner, but Parker Campbell, great job. Robinson gets it back. That shot well wide of the mark. And so one good defensive stand deserves another as the Monarchs hold tight, and they now will get another chance on offense here. Be interesting to see. This game will certainly go down to the wire. We'll see if it's one of those situations where the team that has the ball last. And no, the Buck says, not right now. He's going to work that short side for another one, his 4th of the game, and it's 14-13 Toronto. So it doesn't take long, and that's why this is the fastest game on 2 feet. But boy, want to send a shout out to the Malcolm Ford crew that showed up here to support Malcolm and company. Looks like a whole host of them there as they have taken up one section themselves. So great to have you here at the Arena Lacrosse League. Off the draw, Gustafson had a notion, but Van Scheppen there to scoop that up, and he'll work it to Newbro. Newbro, he'll retreat, head to the bench, and now Angus. Marley Angus on the half boards, isolated. Lemaire trying to duck in, kicks it out. Q underhand, right on, stopped by. And another beauty stop as Sam Haynes has come in relief of Craig Wendy, and he has stood tall between the pipes. Toronto now will work it up over the timeline. Under 13 minutes to go here. 4th quarter, it will be the final quarter for one of these two teams. Follows. Dancing around. Ford on him. On the switch off. That one gets airmailed out. And picking that up. Bouncing off a check. Here come the Riverwolves. One-on-one. Hansor. Backdoor. Tried to find Robinson. Popped out of his stick. He gets roughed up by Power. And Hansor comes away with it. Does get it to Robinson inside. Dawson had it pop out of the pocket. Quickly turned around. Olin Power. He'll look backdoor. Dance. He'll regroup, settle things down here, let the rest of the offense head on out, kick it over to Menzies. Dance gets a screen, bounces off one. Dance, and too much on the Henry follows. That'll be no goal. And a chance here to air one out. Agus, almost great tip. So no pass interference on the play, just a good job by Gay to get enough of that to change the direction. And to work now is Buck. Buck and Ron. Coming out late. The Dancer's shot right on. Breadbasket. And a good job by O'Toole, who has held steady this entire game and kept his team in it. Angus. Curl around. Nothing doing. Was looking there for Robinson. Robinson will get out raced by Ron. Ron a quick pass, and Thompson on the move. Right side. Woodland's waiting for him, and he'll swing it around to Follows. Follows will wait. Forward out there on the left. Menzie heads out to the right. The Dancer has some room. Dance. Bounces one. Goes to the bounce shot side. Rebound picked up, and it's Henry Follows following the leader again. Follows with the rebound. And he has been a force here, just his second goal of the game, but he has been instrumental in the offensive attack. And now Toronto with their largest lead, 15-13. With just over 11 minutes to play, I can't imagine this is the way it's going to finish. So we will just have to see if the Riverwolves are able to bounce back. They have had their issues with late games, so it'll be a chance now for them to right the ship here. And you don't want to go into the quarterfinals with the ship so-so. Everything's got to be intact. Big Andy Campbell gets a screen. Campbell lets it go, and Haynes. Good job to steer that one aside. Prince battling for it. Lemaire is going to come up with it, and he'll settle it down with a fresh 30. Campbell with Tyler Brown on that left side and Dawson. Campbell. Portelli on him, switches hands, got a shot off, but Haynes had it bounce around in front of him, juggled it a bit, and hauled it in. Monroe. He will hustle to get it over the timeline. Does a good job doing that. And now it's the Dancer. Fife dog, wrong stick side. That BB is wide. That's going to be a Karam. Going to get a chance for Paris now to run. Agus. Good hustle back, though. He'll hit the back door and spear. And he'll zip it over. They'll set it up half boards. Angus. Waiting for Woodland. Woodland, a big screen out there. Gets it to Spear. Spear rolls off. Can't do much with it. And now Angus, one-on-one. Kaminga on him. Angus has room. Goes to the overhand. Marley Angus finds the mark, and a big goal for Paris, 15-14. Just his first of the game. Now, Marley Angus, of course, spending some time in the NLL, only played 5 games this season, managed 8 goals, 13 helpers. Finally has his first here today, and you look at the scoring attack for Paris, been pretty balanced. Van Scheppen with one, Tyler Brown with a couple, Andy Campbell with a couple, Dawson's chipped in. Robinson's got 3, Woodland's got 2, and Q's got 2. So balanced that way, and just a little different on the Toronto side with Tanner Buck with 4, Riley Ford has 2, Ron has 3, and Follows has a couple himself. So under 9.5 to go here, and it's a 1-goal game. Ball loose, scrum, half boards picked up by the Monarchs, and Portelli, tough customer as Power is just going to hit the whole pile. He's not even concerned. No individuals. Newbro comes away with it. Q going to have to backtrack for it. Knocks it over, and it's the good hands people, Van Scheppen. And guess who's going to go? It's going to be Nick Miller, and I'm not sure. That's a tough call because that looked like a pretty good cross-check, and the helmet popped up. I didn't think he hit him in the helmet. So I think that just might be a case of needing a better chin strap there because That was a good solid check. Either way, Miller not happy. So the Riverwolves with another power play opportunity. Two for 5 coming in here, and it'll be a question of timing. And now under 9 minutes to go, and the captain ties this game up at 15, Kyle Dawson. Second goal of the game, another power play goal, their third. And just like we alluded to with head coach Darcy Palace, this a game of special teams here playing a big role potentially in the final outcome of this game. Want to remind our viewers out there, of course, championship weekend. Next weekend at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Semifinal number 1 will be at 1 p.m. Semifinal number 2 will be at 4 p.m. And then the championship All Cup will be on Sunday at 2 p.m. at the track. Make sure you're there. All games will be live on the JVI network. Q will work it to Van Scheppen, and Van Scheppen didn't see a Walker, but Walker able to cause a distraction. Miller jumps up, and now it's going to be Agus. So they're going to play 4-on-4 down at this end as Martino puts a halt to Agus's progress. 10 on the shot clock, and a great save there as Robinson is robbed. And Martino will flip and retreat Thompson now. Under 8 minutes to go. Someone will play next weekend. Someone will not. But Dance has room. Goes to the sidearm. Good pad save again there. Hustle now. Brown working. Dance outworks him for it. Gets it over to the Fife dog. Pfeiffer dumps it down. Thompson. Sweeping Thompson. The crease dive finish. Patrick Thompson on a beauty pass from the Fife dog. First of the game for Thompson gives the Monarchs that 1-goal lead back with 7:37 to play here in this fourth quarter. It has been one heck of a quarterfinal here and has lived up to what we expected as these two teams were evenly matched coming in. So now draws become even more important. Gustafson, Kuminga put the clamps down on Gustafson. Power rolls on Gustafson, and that doesn't work anywhere you go. And I'm surprised at that call there. I thought Gustafson had gotten taken down and run over. Either way, here's Ron. So going to be important for Ron to stay at the penalty box now. Any penalties. Ford squeaks it in. Riley Ford. Boy, you couldn't have picked a better time to get his third of the game. I don't even think O'Toole expected Ford to take that quick release sidearm. They have caught him off guard, but back to that 2-goal lead. And we saw the Monarchs earlier in this quarter push the lead to 2, and that evaporated in the blink of an eye. Off the draw, Kuminga. And Gustafson not in the circle that time, and it was noticeable. Gay, he'll pick it up. Monarchs with possession now. They'll look to set it up. We hit the 7-minute mark. Fourth quarter. Brampton, Oshawa, Whitby, all in. Ron, great move, Owen Ron. Switch hands on the money. Owen Ron, how you like me now? So when he pays attention to his offensive game and leaves everything else aside, that's his 4th goal of this game. And a big one, largest lead now for the Monarchs, 18-15, and a 3-goal run has given Toronto the momentum here. Off the draw, Gustafson, like I said, makes a difference when he's in there. Battling with Kuminga. Scrum almost right at center. Ball loose. Gustafson does a good job plays just enough convenient interference for Brown to scoop it up. And Paris now. 6.5 minutes. Brown in alone goes to the bounce shot. Oh, Brown, where have you been? So a big transition goal coming from another X factor for the Riverwolves. As Dawson Brown picks up his first, just his second goal of the season. So it gives you an idea where he stands, usually a defensive player, and a big goal there. Saw an opening and just took it, took what the defense gave him, closed the gap now to 2. So big goal there, another big draw here, and this time it's Kuminga that comes away with it, and they get it into the sure hands. Dance, gonna try to pull his way in. Dance tried to quick shot wrap around, and now Portelli does a good job to track it down, and Ford will hold it. Whole lot of barking from the bench, but nothing going on. 6 minutes to play now. Pfeiffer gets a step. Tried to twist her short side, but that was cut off by O'Toole. Good outlet pass, sends away Q. Q, back door, zips it across, looking for Robinson. Can't connect. Chance here now. Wide open ahead. Thompson, Ron scores! Owen Ron picked a fine time to settle and do what he's supposed to do, and he comes up with back-to-back goals when they needed it, and the Monarchs, with 5:42 to play, have extended the lead back to 3. So we are in crunch time, and that's going to give us a chance here to take our final officials timeout. Well, we talk about crunch time, we talk about money time, and it is now crunch time. A bit of a mountain to climb if you are the Paris Riverwolves. Certainly got enough time to do it. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not they can execute. They're certainly not going to get any cooperation from the defending champs. They're going to spread the floor and work that shot clock down, be deliberate out of the officials' timeout, and it's Ford. Ford works it down, follows, tiptoeing around, looking for something. He'll bring it back, kick it out. Ron, that's right in the breadbasket, and on the move now, and it'll be Angus now. Marley Angus that'll get it over the timeline, and Paris. So they give up the shot, get the rebound. Paris now has to go to work on offense. Dawson, Angus, two-man game, looking inside. Good coverage, though, by the Monarchs, and Spear left before he had the ball. Robinson, Ethier all over him. 5 on the shot clock. Great defensive play there as you saw Pfeiffer working on the defensive end, and the Monarchs stand steady when they need to. 4:45 to play. Toronto with possession. You can't defend a championship if you're not in the semifinals. Got to be there. So going to be a too many men on the floor, and it's going to go to Paris, as Paris is just going to keep 6 on there. You might as well. That's certainly not going to increase the penalty, and they'll play 6-on-6 with an empty net. Follows, lets it go. And finally going to be touched by Brown, and it's going to be too many on the floor to Paris, and they sure picked a bad time for that one. So Haynes made the long run, and Paris decided they were just going to leave the 6 out there. And I don't know if that was such a bad idea, really. When you think about it, you certainly don't go to a disadvantage, but you will be now for 2 minutes. And you can, with time on the side of the Monarchs, you figure they're not going to be in any hurry to do a whole lot here. 3-goal lead with 4 minutes to play. And they're going to be very deliberate now. Every possession magnified here in money time. Under 4 minutes. 8 on the shot clock. Buck shot wide of the mark. That's going to be trouble. Tracking it down, and it's going to go over the timeline, so Paris now with a chance. They're going to have to go for it while short. McConvey moves it up. Q shot, steered aside by Haynes. Rebound, Dawson. Behind the net, crease dive, dunk, and it's a good one. Luke Robinson closes the gap, now to 2 with a shorty. Robinson with his 4th of the game, and first shorthanded marker surrendered by either team here in this game. It has been very well played, and great job by the Riverwolves knowing that they're behind the 8 ball. You got to attack. You don't have time to set a whole lot up. You got to work on your transition and take advantage of whatever the defense gives you. Off the draw, Gustafson has it steered aside, and him and Kuminga have been battling all game, both those two guys, and they continue, and that's going to be a penalty. And it's going to go to Mitch Gustafson, I believe, which I thought probably should have went to Kuminga, and then Gustafson for holding the stick would have probably been a little bit more likely. But again, when you're consistently in the eyes of the officials, you create problems for yourself. And now Toronto is going to keep it well outside with a 5-on-3 here. If they attack here and pocket one, that may be the icing on the cake. Buck, fight dog, try to sneak one in short side, saved by O'Toole. Q now, might as well go for a run, Q. You're running out of time, under 3 minutes now. Worry about killing that off, got to go for it here. Toronto very content, staying back, playing safety. Q tried a shot. Going to try to get his own rebound. Picked up. Robinson twister stopped by Haynes, and he went through the crease and picked up. And the Monarchs waste no time moving it up. 15 seconds left in the first penalty. 2.5 to go in this game. Ron and Dance will work it. Buck, Dance, Ron, Fife. Dance blocked. Rebound in the crease. Picked up. Riverwolves now 1 out of the box. 5-on-4. Chance here. McConvey going to look for that back door. McConvey gets bounced out of that dotted half circle. Late is Robinson. His sidearm wide of the mark. Rebound. McConvey bodies Miller. Can't do much with it. Good job by Miller. Monarchs move it up. We're into the 2-minute warning. Monarchs trying to hang on for a trip to next week's Final Four to claim that final invite. Dance working with Buck. Buck lets it go. Rebound. Fife dog. Over. What a save by O'Toole. Monarchs still gather the rebound, but O'Toole doing everything and some. Pfeiffer going to pull it out on the fresh reset. He'll go for a run. Agus will chase him down. The Dancer tried to shovel it back. Follows. Speedy in the gap. He'll pick it up. 10 on the shot clock. Minute 15 to go. Follows. Dancer. He's just going to loft that in the corner and burn that shot clock. Minute 8 to go now. Paris on their horse. Penalty over. Teams back to full strength. O'Toole to the box, to the bench. Extra attacker on for Paris. 2-goal deficit, final minute. Who's going to the semis? That one's blocked, knocked down. Scrum in front. Brown couldn't fish it out. Haynes will air it out. Gets it to Kuminga. Kuminga, he's going to tuck and go. Zips it up. Empty net. Ethier with 40.4 seconds to go. Just sealed the deal for the defending champs. Nathan Ethier picked a fine time as well. There's a whole lot of fine time picking here for these Monarchs as they have put together their finest game. As the Monarchs off the draw, and they made defending champion Toronto Monarchs have come into the ILA and earned themselves an invite to next weekend's semifinal. The matchups going forward. And even some discrepancy here as Harris expected the clock just to run out, and the officials say they got to make it official. And they will here. So this one will finish 20-17 to Toronto Monarchs. Matchups are set. The Brampton Express will meet the Oshawa Outlaws in semifinal number 1, second semifinal. The top-seeded Whitby Steelhawks, they will take on the defending champion Toronto Monarchs. Next weekend, Toronto Rock Athletic Center, 1 and 4 p.m. final. Sunday, 2 p.m. Don't miss it. On behalf of JVI Productions, the Arenalacrosseleague, Darcy Palace, Paul St. John, the president, I'm Lance Wynn. We will see you championship weekend next weekend.